The circle. He's got Robinson on his left. 0-0 the score. Iwobi to the edge of the penalty area. Low shot saved down low by Onana. Good run by Iwobi, who's having a terrific season so far. And that's the first test of the Manchester United goalkeeper. 0-0. Here's Alan Pardew.
Yeah, Iwobi, you know, he's 7 goals this year, and he's playing with so much confidence. He just took to the back four there, run at them, and then hit a good low drive, left-footed to the far post. But a good save from Onana. He got down well. That was an important save, you know, with 6 minutes on the clock.
Good work from the goalkeeper. Had to plunge down to that left-hand side in front of the over 2,500 Manchester United fans. Of course, they're always well backed on their travels, Manchester United. So 0-0, but Fulham looking the brighter in these early stages. Over the top goes Lisandro Martinez. Haaland's made a good run up the inside left channel, 5 yards from the dead ball line. He tries to cut inside Anderson. Back now to Garnacho. Garnacho drives towards the dead ball line and whips in the cross, and there was Castagna for Fulham, emerging away with possession and playing it forward towards the right, and Raul Jimenez, who draws the foul cleverly from Mazraoui, and that's a free kick to Fulham. As if to illustrate your earlier point, Alan, he's a player, isn't he, Raul Jimenez, the centre forward, playing with such a great deal of confidence at the moment.
Yeah, and he used his experience there. You know, Martinez is going to come through the back of you. It's just the way he is. So he sort of sucked him in a little bit there and drew the foul, and Fulham are back in possession. You know, it's an interesting game. It's being played in like half a pitch, which is in the middle of the pitch at the moment. You know, both central lines are really high.
Haaland has held the ball up for Manchester United now, midway inside the Fulham half. United playing from left to right in the first half. 6 defeats in their last 9 Premier League matches. Over the top from Bruno Fernandes, again towards Garnacho. Hooks it high and looping from near the corner flag, and he's mishit that on the run, off balance, in fairness to Garnacho, who of course has been linked with Chelsea in the last couple of weeks. And out of play it goes for a goal kick to Fulham.
Yeah, it's a strange one, that. You know, I don't know how Adrian thinks about it, but you know, I can't see why Chelsea would want him. You know, they've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 attacking players that are all of a value that they need to, you know, to keep. So I can't understand why they're looking at him. So, and he's playing tonight, so you do wonder if that's just speculation. There might not be anything in that. It doesn't sort of ring true to me.
Well, surely on the evidence of this weekend, Chelsea need a goalkeeper. Ball infield by Raul Jimenez, and Ugarte has beaten Smith Rowe to it, but the loose ball drops towards Calvin Bassey, who shrugs aside Haaland, ends up on the turf, but he keeps the ball for Fulham. Robinson right in front of us, tearing into the Manchester United half, left of centre. Iwobi out on the overlap. Iwobi edge of the penalty area, steers it infield, blocks away, took a double deflection. Diogo Dalot slides in to prevent the corner. It's a Fulham throw right by the corner flag and right by the famous Cottage, close to where the players' tunnel is here. Quick throw, Robinson into the area, dink back across by Iwobi, not a dink with much conviction. Harry Maguire was there to steer it away. It's come back out to Robinson on the near side. It's still goalless on Talk Sport, and Sander Berger will slow the play down. Back to the halfway line in Joachim Andersen.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if you go back last sort of 10, 20 years, you wouldn't really expect this game to be kind of dominated by Fulham. It's always been Man United dominating here, always, always, always. And Fulham might get something. You might see a victory from Fulham on the break, you know, a couple of counter-attacks or a set play. But this is such an even encounter tonight. And you would have to say that at the moment, Fulham just edging it.
Manchester United have got a great record at CRAVEN Cottage, but as you say, Alan, 7 points between the two teams, and it's Fulham who are leading the way. And of course, the real possibility, who knows, of European football for Marco Silva's team next season. Lukic on the halfway line, out to the right back position. Castagna, who'll steer it back about 15 yards to the feet of Anderson. Lukic, who is enjoying life in the Fulham midfield this season, a 17th Premier League start of the campaign. That's already far more than he made in the whole of last season. Bassey now crosses halfway at walking pace and plays the ball infield to the tall Berger. Great physical presence at the heart of that Fulham midfield. Bassey has moved into Manchester United territory. Iwobi to the corner of the penalty area, trying to 1-2 with Smith Rowe. The two former Arsenal men looking to combine. He was blocked off Iwobi, but no foul given. 0-0 in the 10th minute as Manchester United with Maguire. Risky ball out to the left, and Martinez smuggled it away from Wilson. Lovely touch infield by Garnacho. Could be a brilliant counter this for Manchester United. Mazraoui got to halfway, then he was stopped by Lukic. Fulham will come again. Yeah, it's intriguing, this.
That's a great bit of football all round, that. You know, that great touch from Garnacho almost set United on a great counter. It was great defensive work. I'm not sure who that was who did that for Fulham, but he stopped a certain attack there. It's an interesting game, you know. Fulham looking the more dominant, but United obviously offering a threat.
Lukic came across well there, didn't he? The midfield destroyer.
Lukic? Yeah, it was, yeah.
Seen him on international duty in the past with Serbia, and he's a good presence alongside Sander Berge. And easy to forget, Fulham lost João Palhinha in the summer, no longer at the club.
Yeah, massive loss. But you know, they've done particularly well, the midfield too, and particularly Berge. You know, as you say, he's about 6'3". He's a huge presence in there. But his feet are good. He's tidy. His mobility is great. So you know, Fulham defensively are quite sound.
Manchester United have the ball. De Ligt midway inside his own half, and Ahmad jinks in field as he loves to do, wriggles away from Iwobi and plays the ball square to Lisandro Martinez. He's got a pocket of space shy of the halfway line. In front of the Riverside stand is Garnacho. Back to Martinez again. Ruben Amorim and Marco Silva, both from Lisbon. It's Ruben Amorim's 40th birthday tomorrow. Manchester United with Bruno Fernandes high on the diagonal, sweeping it wide to the near side, and Dalot keeps the ball in play, but he didn't really have much support, and Fulham win it back on the near side with the industrious Iwobi. Lovely ball in field to Lukic. Iwobi looks like a really confident player these days, and Lukic threads the ball out to the right, and Wilson, who loves to cut in field on that left side, all left foot at the moment, he shapes to play the ball back square. Lukic in a central area. Manchester United have got players back behind the ball. Iwobi, little 1-2 with Smith Rowe. Iwobi 30 yards out, down the middle to Raul Jimenez, edge of the penalty area, twisting and turning and nearly forcing it through towards Iwobi. Sliding, it was De Ligt. I don't know how Fulham nearly got through there, Alan.
Well, that's Jimenez's feet. You know, for a tall man, he's got such great technical ability. He just manoeuvred Maguire and almost got Iwobi in. But again, a nice sort of build-up from Fulham. And as you say, they're carrying the threat to United.
There are plenty of red shirts behind the ball, but no great conviction in the Manchester United defending. And again, clean sheets have been a big problem for Manchester United. None in 13 matches.
You know what's surprising about United, when normally when you play with wing backs, is the switch of play. You know, that creates that space, and they've only really done that once in the whole, what is this, sort of 14 minutes in, and that was that ball all the way across to Dalot, and unfortunately he was isolated and lost the ball. But I think that's key for them, to sort of get some space and to work the ball, is just a few more switches of play. Maybe Fernandes is playing that deeper role just to do that.
Fulham 0, Manchester United 0. Just under 13 minutes gone beneath the floodlights here in London. And once we're done tonight, Alan will be with Adrian Durham to take your calls on the weekend's football. 03717 223344, and Henry Winter, broadcaster and journalist, with us in the commentary box as well. So we've got a cracking lineup for you after full time, and we'll try and bring you both managers live into the programme before 10 o'clock as well. Here on Talk Sport, Manchester United have the ball in the centre circle. Dalot with a little touch square to De Ligt, who almost stops on the ball, feeds Ahmad with his back to goal, crowded out by a combination of Bassi and Robinson, and Fulham force Manchester United back to the halfway line. And again, De Ligt at walking pace here, and Fulham trying to keep compact out of possession as Manchester United work it left. Martinez then down the middle to Nusayr Mazraoui. He's blocked off by Berge and fed forward by Wilson towards Raul Jimenez out on the far side, and he's tackled by Martinez, who swept it off his toes. Manchester United coming forward now, but not at any great pace. Away on the left-hand side, jinking in field is Garnacho into a central area. Fulham have got everybody in black and white behind the ball. Again, out on the left is Martinez. Manchester United are having to be patient here as they look to find that key touch and that guile in the play they need to score the opening goal.
Yeah, and you know, it's a better spell for Man United. They do need to kind of take the sting out of Fulham a little bit and keep the ball, which they've done for that little period there, but they've just returned it to Fulham, and they're looking to play out.
Wilson has got it back for Fulham, and a poor ball over the halfway line. Fulham 0, Manchester United 0 on Talk Sport with Sky Sports. Don't forget you can stream the biggest Premier League games, available with no contract on now, and just search Now Sports. Crystal Palace 1, Brentford 2 in the Premier League early today. Leicester came from behind to beat Tottenham. Leicester out of the Premier League relegation zone, and it finished Aston Villa 1 and West Ham United 1. Rangers 3-1 winners at Dundee United in the Scottish Premiership earlier. They're still 10 points behind Celtic. Højlund caught just inside his own half by Anderson. 50-50 says the referee, no foul given. And now Wilson chips the ball up the middle. Smith Rowe is suddenly through, and he's blocked off by Martinez. Onana was there as well, as was De Ligt. The Fulham fans felt there was a foul. Nothing given by the on-field referee, Anthony Taylor, and now Manchester United can break maybe. Over on the far side, they've given it away to Timothy Castagne. I think the appeals were more from the Fulham fans than the players. What did you make of it, Alan Partridge?
Yeah, in the naked eye from here, it didn't look like a penalty, but there was a collision of bodies. Smith Rowe sort of ended up between the sort of the central, that whole central back line of three of them, and they sort of collided. And I didn't think there was anything in it. I'm just seeing the replay now. Martinez goes in actually with a strange tackle. He's lucky he doesn't connect.
Boot was high, wasn't it?
Slightly fortunate there.
Emil Smith Rowe with one of those late runs in between the lines and down the middle, and Manchester United hadn't really picked him up. It remains 0-0. Lively though, with just over a quarter of an hour gone.
Yeah, no, it's been as you'd expect. You know, an evening game under the lights, you know, it creates that kind of atmosphere anyway. There's only been chances one end though for Fulham.
Berger out to the left-hand side of Robinson with the angled pass. Robinson tries to drill in the cross early, and it thundered off Diogo Dalot and out to play for a Fulham pro. And you'll know, Alan, that so many of Fulham's great moments over recent years have come under the floodlights. The atmosphere just cranks up a notch. Fulham in possession now, edge of the penalty area with Robinson, and Berger has to go back to Anderson. And Manchester United noticeably are defending very deep, out of possession. In fact, everybody behind the ball. So Fulham have to go back to halfway.
Yeah, that's, you know, Fulham haven't really done much wrong. They're playing really well. United at the for me at the moment, I'm looking for a kind of, what are they trying to do? I can't see exactly. They're not switching the play fast. They're not moving the ball quickly across the back to sort of create space. So I'm trying to find some sort of rhythm in their play at the moment.
Manchester United 2, Brighton 0 is the latest score in the Women's Super League at the moment. Chelsea, the league leaders, and still unbeaten, beat Arsenal by a goal to nil in the big game of the day earlier on. Ugarte over the halfway line for Manchester United. Goalless at Fulham in the Premier League, live and exclusive on Talk Sport. And Iwobi with a clever touch back to Bassi, and you can hear the rapturous applause from the Fulham fans all around us in the Johnny Haynes stand. Now Lukic, lip of the centre circle, out to the right back, Castagne, and now Smith Rowe dropping deep into his own half to retrieve possession. Quite a renaissance for Smith Rowe in southwest London after falling out of favour at Arsenal. De Ligt comes across for Manchester United in front of Robinson. He rolls it back to Onana, and Onana clears first time high up over the halfway line. It bounces midway inside the Fulham half. A tangle between Højlund and Anderson. Manchester United fans not happy. Again, Anthony Taylor, he just waves it away. Yeah,
well, Højlund, sometimes his inexperience. You know, the centre halves, I think it's about 4 times now it's gone in his sort of area for him to do a lot better, which he hasn't done. And he keeps losing those kind of physical battles, and actually the refs lose confidence with you.
Here comes Iwobi darting down the left wing position. He cuts infield onto his right foot and shoots low, and Onana is behind it. It went through the legs, I think, of Maguire, but fortunately for Manchester United it was straight at the goalkeeper, so even if he was unsighted, a relatively simple save for Onana.
Yeah, well, he didn't catch it, did he? You know, he's coming in on his right foot there. He's usually quite proficient with that right foot. It looked a bit uncomfortable, but it was an easy save. But again, United showing him the goal. They've opened up the whole goal to him there. In all honesty, he should score for me.
That's twice, isn't it? Iwobi in the first half. These raids down the left-hand side. He's had a super season as Onana clears the ball downfield, and so have Fulham. Bassi back to goalkeeper Leno, all in blue, and Fulham moving the ball more effectively in the first half, and they look the more likely in the game at the moment. But as we said beforehand, really there won't be too many people surprised at that, given the way that Manchester United have been performing in the Premier League so far this season. Headed down by Maguire to the feet of Bruno Fernandes. Good close control, quick ball out to the left, and Garnacho looking to maraud infield away from Castagne, has to check back to find Bruno Fernandes again. Now Ugarte, middle of the Fulham half, back to the halfway line, and Maguire, square ball to De Ligt, and De Ligt now 2 or 3 touches and pings a high diagonal ball. Lovely ball, sweeping it right to left and well controlled by Garnacho, who's away from the defender. Garnacho dribbles into the area, lays it back to Mazraoui to dink in the cross. Header away by Robinson. Important header for Fulham by their left back. Their captain, Anthony Robinson, as Wilson slides in firm but fair on Martinez. Manchester United throw on the far side.
Yeah, that was Man United's best move by some distance. It was a great switch of play, which we were talking about, from Delac. So he went right to left. And Garnacho, great bit of skill. Fernandez, and then he dinked one into the middle, but there was no one there, unfortunately, when he got cleared. But it was a slick move from United, and it just shows the quality they have in the team.
Yeah, beautifully done, well worked. Nobody there to apply the goal-scoring touch, and Rasmus Højlund, a man in need of a goal on something of a barren run for Manchester United at the moment. They've got a throw on that far side there left. Mazraoui takes it infield to Bruno Fernandes, back to Mazraoui, still 0-0 in the 21st minute. Fulham against Manchester United. Ugate's won it back, 25 yards out, square to Ahmad, tried to touch it first time to Højlund, but Bassi was in the way. And Fulham are on the break, urged forward by the home fans. Berger wide left to Iwobi. Robinson is on the overlap. Here's Anthony Robinson with a brilliant run, and the cross is way overhit. He's much better than that usually. He's overhit it, it's one pounce and it's out for a throw. You don't often see that from Anthony Robinson, Alan.
Well, for me, he's the best left back in the Premier League. And so, you know, you're talking about an outstanding talent. He sprinted there like 80 metres to get on the end of that. And unfortunately, it wasn't the sort of quality that he usually delivers, let's put it that way. He's gone out way on the far side. But this side of the pitch is when the threat for Fulham. You know, they've got the young boy Ahmad out here. He's not sure whether to track Robinson. You've got Iwobi coming in on the inside, Robinson going on the outside. It's a conundrum that they're not dealing with at the moment.
Well, it's the rigours of Premier League football, and Manchester United, that they haven't conceded as yet, haven't created a great deal. That one opportunity a few moments ago, but nobody on the end of Mazraoui's cross. Fulham 0, Manchester United 0 on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Enterprise has 450 branches with all the vehicles your business needs. Early ball up to Højlund for Manchester United, and he's sandwiched in between two white shirts, but he was fouled this time.
Yes, I say, because he gets a foul. And you know, it doesn't matter if you're Man United or you're Crystal Palace or wherever you are, your striker needs to buy you fouls at crucial moments, and that was a moment that he needed to do. He did it well.
Very experienced Premier League manager Alan Pardew with us for commentary tonight on TalkSport. Alan, taking your calls after full time, 03717 22 33 Amazing weekend of football in the Premier League in terms of drama and incidents, if nothing else, and plenty of goals as well. None here though so far tonight. Dalot gives it away for Manchester United, and now Robinson, left wing position for Fulham, teases it back to Berger, who has to roll the ball to the halfway line, and Bassi. Quick ball wide left to Lukic again. Lukic now sort of meandering forward towards the corner of the penalty area. Didn't look as comfortable as he does in that defensive role, Lukic. He had to find Robinson, and now Berger back to the centre circle and Joachim Andersen. Lukic again, almost hugging the left touchline at the moment. He's drifting infield once more towards the corner of the penalty area. Manchester United with almost everybody back. Robinson away on the Fulham left, this near side of the field. Having to work very hard here, Fulham, to create attacking space in that final third. Robinson looks up. Back to the halfway line, and Andersen again. And Marco Silva watches on, pacing up and down inside his technical area on the opposite side to us. Fulham with no great rush to go too direct, although Anderson's hit the ball into the feet of Raul Jimenez, who popped it back to Sander Berger. Now Robinson again looks up. Early ball up the inside left channel. Raul Jimenez gets there in front of Maguire. There was contact. There are some appeals, but Harry Maguire, he's smiling, isn't he, Alan? Harry Maguire.
Yeah, Maguire knows he's okay there. He got there first, there was no problem, and Jimenez was trying to make some theatrical
which
statement.
You could understand from a striker.
Well, it's nice to make a theatrical statement now and again if you're a striker.
No free kick given to Fulham, it's just a throw to Manchester United. Only one win in 18 in the Premier League against Manchester United for Fulham. That was at Old Trafford last season. Lukic has won it back in the centre circle for them. He slips, Mazraoui half won it back. Ahmad certainly did, and then Lukic with a crunching challenge. Ahmad's gone down and stayed down, but he did get to the ball. Referee was right next to the incident. Iwobi out on the left-hand side for Fulham, trying to dribble beyond Diogo Dalot, who gets in front of him well, and it's cleared away by De Ligt.
Yeah, it's great defending by Dalot. Lukic has done 3 or 4 tackles. You know, he goes to ground quickly, but you know, I didn't think there was anything wrong with that challenge, and as you say, he played on the referee. Sometimes the referee's too close to the action. He couldn't actually see it, he was that close.
He was almost right on top of it, wasn't he, Anthony Taylor? A robust challenge from Lukic, to say the very least. Fulham 0, Manchester United 0. We've had 25 minutes, and that's a foul, most certainly on the Fulham man Wilson in the middle of midfield, and down stays Alejandro Ugarte rather, who slowly gets to his feet thereafter, as if to try and keep his innocence, but I think, did he almost slip as he went in for that?
Yeah, to be honest, I think he slipped a little bit, but it's still way overzealous. You know, he's lucky he hasn't caught him properly. I actually think he hasn't really contributed much to the game, Ugarte, so far. They've played around him a little bit. He's almost been a bit of a passenger in this first half. That's one of his few contributions, that tackle. Well, the foul that he's given away, and Fulham out of position. I see actually Man United defending these earlier on.
Yep, in the warm-up.
Yeah, and they try to stay high. Maguire through the middle, obviously, but they're slightly vulnerable at set plays.
Fulham 0, Manchester United 0 it remains. Huge game in the Championship tomorrow night, Burnley against Leeds, and that is live over on TalkSport 2.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
It'll be a cracker, biggest game of the Championship season so far.
Yep.
And the return of the Champions League and the Europa League, the final game weeks in midweek as well on Wednesday and Thursday on the network. Just download our app. A free kick whipped in by Lukic for Fulham, high to the back post. Anderson heads it back across from the dead ball line, and De Ligt there to head clear for Manchester United. Fulham have to go back to halfway, and Anthony Robinson. Robinson now turns and rolls it back to Leno, who has hardly had a touch in the first half so far. 26.5 minutes in, the Fulham goalkeeper.
He certainly hasn't had an effort on goal, have they? I don't think. They had that one good cross that I can remember.
But meaningful efforts on goal, sorely lacking. Bassi plays a good ball forward 10 yards to Smith Rowe, who picks out a pocket of space, and now he's got Robinson again on the overlap. This Fulham left-hand side causing danger. Lofted cross from Robinson, that's easy for Onana. Backpedaling high inside his 6-yard box. A floated cross, easy for a goalkeeper to take, and it's still 0-0.
It's still a massive worry that this side of the pitch isn't now down, and you know, Amorim's going to have to do that, because don't think Robinson's going to do that all night. He's put 2 poor crosses in, but he won't continue to do that. He will find a cross in sooner rather than later.
Well, it is the left-hand side, isn't it, Adam, where Fulham are profiting from the most, and that's not a great surprise given just how good Robinson and Iwobi have been. That's a heavy back pass to Leno from Anderson, and Bassi's under pressure. Brilliant turn, facing his own goal. Took Ahmad out of the game completely. And there was a player who, early on in his Premier League career, sometimes struggled in that sort of situation. No problems there.
No, he's been brilliant all year, the big fella. And that was a great bit of skill.
The elegance of Calvin Bassi. Smith Rowe in a central area for Fulham. Back to Berger, again Manchester United working diligently to get everybody back behind the ball. Little back heel by Smith Rowe on the edge of the D, smuggled away by Matthijs de Ligt for Manchester United, but a heavy touch by Højlund. He got lucky, it worked wide to Garnacho on the halfway line. Hopeful ball towards Ahmad, never going to reach him. Fulham have it back.
Yeah, again, Højlund should do a lot better, really, you know, and that's, you know, when Fulham are having these sporadic attacks, that ball pops out, you've got to keep it, especially for a team with this quality and this level.
Bruno Fernandes now towards Højlund on the halfway line, and again he's blocked off this time by Anderson initially, and then Robinson at the second attempt. Anderson picks up the pass, looking up to find Raul Jimenez. Inside right channel is Wilson for Fulham. Wilson, the former Liverpool player, darting forward to the corner of the box. He's beyond 2, nearly 3, in the shape of Maguire, who in fairness stood firm and tall to win it back with great authority.
Yeah, Wilson's a strange player, you know. There's times when you just don't think he's out there, and then he pops up and does a great bit of magic like he did there. He went past 3 United players like they wasn't even in the game. But unfortunately for him, it was a good challenge at the end of it. But, you know, that right side there's not been as productive as down this left. So, you know, for United, you'd like to think at some stage they're going to nail it down this side and get more involvement in the game. They still haven't had enough of the ball for me.
Forward by Onana for Manchester United, the aerial route, and Anderson leaps above Højlund to head it away. But it has dropped to Bruno Fernandes inside the centre circle, working it wide right to Diogo Dalot, who is unchallenged at the moment, but he's played it square instead to Ahmad. Back in field to De Ligt. Manchester United playing from left to right, nearly half an hour gone, 0-0. Dalot in an advanced position, scampers away from Berger, finds Ahmad with his back to goal, corner of the box, and Fulham really working well out of possession and making it difficult for Manchester United to find space, and they win the ball back deep inside their own half, and in the end, I think that's looking behind the pillar, Alan. It's Robinson off Ahmad, and it's a goal kick.
Yeah, Ahmad's been slightly disappointing. Obviously, he's had a fantastic couple of weeks. He hasn't really done much this game. And everything that's been good about Man United, and there hasn't been a lot, has actually come through Fernandes. You know, when you get him on the ball, he's just got that craft, he's got that ability to kind of pirouette on the ball and buy you a bit of time. And if I was Amarin, I'll be like getting him more on the ball. They need to get him more on the ball.
Manchester United's next game is live with us away at FCSB in the Europa League on Thursday. Tottenham will be in action on Talk Sport. Tottenham beaten by Leicester today in the Premier League. And Wednesday night, our Champions League commentaries. Aston Villa against Celtic. What a classic game that could be in the Champions League on Talk Sport on Wednesday night. Manchester City need a win against Club Brugge. They'll be on Talk Sport 2. Again, our app is the best way to be across all the action. It's free, easy to download, and then you can swipe between both stations at your leisure. It's Fulham 0, Manchester United 0 here after 31 minutes. And De Ligt has possession for Manchester United. Back to Onana, all in green. Onana now forward to Harry Maguire. Really, in fairness to Manchester United as well, we haven't had a clear-cut chance in the game. There was that one effort from Iwobi as Bruno Fernandes plays a good ball over the top, and it almost beat Anderson on the stretch, but he managed to hook it away right-footed up to the halfway line. Now Ugarte back to Mazraoui, and there hasn't really been that he-must-score chance, has there,
no.
Alan Pardew?
No, there hasn't, and as I say, Fernandes had a great moment there. He almost got Garnacho on with a sort of 60-yard pass, almost like a quarterback from deep. But, you know, United haven't really done enough for me. You know, if I was the Fulham manager, I'll be a lot happier with what I've seen.
And now Lisandro Martinez just inside the Fulham half. Angled ball out to the left, and Garnacho shapes to take on Castagna, who gets the better of it. Wasn't the best first touch from Garnacho. Castagna smuggles it away only as far as Martinez, trying to wriggle away from Lukic, and he was fouled. And it's a free kick to Manchester United, left of centre, maybe 25, 30 yards out or so.
Yeah, but Martinez does well when he steps in. You know, and when you play free at the back, your centre-backs have got to step in and do a little bit. And he created something there. He just made a little mazy, he got fouled. And now Man United probably have got their best chance of the game, because this is a great position they're in. What are they, 30? He's 32, 33 yards out, Fernandes. He's going to spin this in. And you've got some big fellas in there, so a good chance for United.
Absolutely. Højlund and Maguire and De Ligt all in a line on the edge of the penalty area. The free kick away to the right-hand side at the Hammersmith end as we look at it at Craven Cottage, 0-0. One arm up into the air for Bruno Fernandes, who then sort of gestures to everybody to stop. He'll take it when he's ready. Bruno Fernandes. How is the delivery? Right-footed, floated into the penalty area, headed away by Sander Berger, and thumps further clear at the back post by Raul Jimenez towards the halfway line. And then Ahmad skips away down the right-hand side, but his touch is heavy. Robinson should shepherd that out of play. He wasn't able to do so. Ahmad did really well to keep it in. He almost collided with the assistant referee, but Robinson comes away with it and thumps it long. Header away by Bruno Fernandes is a poor one. Iwobi is onto it, racing down the middle. Lisandro Martinez slips. Fortunately for him, Bruno Fernandes behind him to rectify the initial error and win it back 0-0.
Yeah, the game's got stretched all of a sudden from that free kick. And now we've got a Man United attack down the other end with Ahmad.
Ahmad on the near side of the field and Dalot on the overlap. They've slowed the play down to walking pace.
Who got a foot in. It was some good play. You know, this is a little bit better from Man United.
Well, possession about even over the course of the game so far. And very little in the way of expected goals. Certainly, we haven't really had that big opportunity just yet. Iwobi's low left-footed shot saved by Onana, although you'd have expected him to save it. And it is 0-0 with 10 minutes of the first half remaining. But it must be intriguing, this, from a Premier League manager's perspective, Alan.
Well, it is, because it's nicely poised. You know, I wouldn't like to call who's going to win it, because, you know, it's that close between the two teams. but the territory has been mainly Fulham. You know, you said possession has been even, but actually the territory hasn't been even. It's been mainly Fulham in Man United half, and sometimes, you know, those stats can be slightly deceiving. Well, sure, Fulham have been the boss team in this first half.
They certainly have, and Ugate's gone down, holding his face as though he was caught by the flailing hand of Calvin Bassey. I don't think there was a great deal of contact.
You got to be careful around Bassey. He's a big fella, and he's got the locks as well. You know, the locks can whip you, so you got to get out of his way, the big fella.
And Ugarte is all right, I think, just about.
Yeah, he's fine.
He's back on his feet again. I don't think there was any real contact between the two of them. And the Fulham fans around us not impressed. We're only about 12 rows from the edge of the pitch. One of the great venues in English football, traditional venues certainly. Here is Bassey for Fulham, left-sided centre-half out to the left-back position, and Robinson floats a high ball forward, header away by Martinez, and a little touch by Bruno Fernandes, a very deft touch. Garnacho can't hold up the play. Here come Fulham on the counter. Iwobi dribbles over the halfway line and he races down the middle. Alex Iwobi for Fulham. He's nudged it left to Raul Jimenez, left corner of the penalty area, onto the right foot with a curling shot. You could see what he was trying to do. We're right behind that, bend it into the top corner. Easier said than done, and it's sailed into the Manchester United fans, and it's still 0-0 on TalkSport.
Yeah. Again, it bounced off Ugarte. He's got to do better. If you're a Man United player in central midfield, you've got to do better than that. And it's broke down, and away they come. And Iwobi fed Jimenez. And as you say, he's shaping. You can see he's trying to bend it in that top corner, which he has the ability to do. Overcooks it, and it goes into the Man United fans.
Alan, Adrian Durham and Henry Winter taking your calls after full time tonight. 03717 223344 on tonight's game and all of the weekend's football. Castagna shepherds the ball behind for Fulham, and a goal kick has been given despite Garnacho's appeals. He screams at Anthony Taylor, the referee, who'd be a referee at any time, and now they've stopped the game and the referee wants the goal kick taken again.
I went oof because he picked the ball up, the centre-back Bassey there. I thought, is the ref blowing the whistle? Fortunately he had. He's in here.
Berger on the halfway line, quick ball up the left-hand side to Robinson, who's taking on Dalot, low ball in towards Raul Jimenez, touch takes him away for goal and shoots from the angle. Always going to be difficult. The angle was almost completely against him, under pressure from Harry Maguire. He's ended up on his back, and the ball has ended up way behind the goal. Yeah,
it's just behind him actually. Robinson again perhaps should do better with that cross, and normally, as the manager is gesturing, he knows that pass possibly should have been the first goal. That was probably the best chance of the game.
Fulham 0, Manchester United 0. The latest odds from Betfair, our official betting partner in Premier League coverage. Right now, Fulham to win 13-8, the draw at 7-5, Manchester United at 2-1 to win, and that's all thanks to Betfair, who are paying out winning bets at 90 minutes with 90-minute guarantee. Terms and conditions apply. 18+. BeGambleAware.org. As a free kick is given against Hoyland, he's had a tough one so far tonight, hasn't he, Alan? 38 minutes, and he's rarely had a touch of the ball, and Anderson at the moment's got the better of it.
Well, you know, on the Sunday show that me and Madge do, you know, we've had so many callers about him. You know, he's so young, and it's such a responsibility to be the number 9 at Man United. And unfortunately tonight he's not having a great game, and it's the power in him at times that, you know, you want to see a little bit more. He has finesse and he has speed, but he needs to show a bit more character and fight in those situations.
A Fulham throw on the right-hand side. Far side there, right-back position. Great to have the very experienced Premier League manager Alan Pardew with us for commentary tonight. I was looking away to the Cottage, away to the left, and I think Gianni Infantino is among the spectators here. He was sitting next to Alistair McIntosh, who is the chief executive at Fulham. So, yes, you have to be right at the top of football's echelons to get a ticket for the Cottage, it feels like.
Well, let me tell you, the Cottage is very lovely. I've been in there a couple of times, and the canopies are top drawer.
Things I never thought I'd hear.
Yes.
Although then again, we shouldn't.
But
I'd
rather
surprised.
be here, you know.
Absolutely.
You want to be out there in the middle of it. Come on.
We've got fans all around us.
Yeah.
But it is still 0-0, and they've got a bit quieter now, haven't they, the Fulham fans, as Manchester United win a throw just over halfway, and Mazraoui will take it infield to Bruno Fernandes over his shoulder with a first-time pass. A strange ball, a risky ball, and Robinson has beaten Ahmad to it. Back to Diogo Dalot on the halfway line, though, for Manchester United. Good touch by Ahmad. He's trying to nip away from Bassi. He's found Diogo Dalot on the underlap, right edge of the penalty area. Low ball in, and it was blocked off by Berger. Manchester United throw 0-0.
Yeah, Bassi had to take him out there because Ahmad had put it through his legs and was going to get the other side, so he was clever and blocked his run, but unfortunately it come to nothing. But, you know, this is Man United, and what have we got? A Wimbledon-style long throw.
From Diogo Dalot.
Yeah, from the 90s.
Here we go. Well, Maguire's gone to the near post, hasn't he? Yeah. So he's certainly expecting it. De Ligt is lurking as well. Diogo Dalot with not a great deal of touchline to work with. He's gone backwards after all that. Nusayr Mazraoui. Maguire has stayed forward, as has De Ligt. The 41st minute. Little chip over the top by Bruno Fernandes, inside right channel, back-pedalling, facing his own goal is Robinson, who half gets it away. Robinson at the second attempt has lost out to Ugarte, down by the dead ball line. Berger with a great authoritative presence to shrug aside Ugarte, but I thought that was a free kick to Manchester United, and it has been given by Anthony Taylor in a very dangerous area, this.
Yeah, I think that was Ugarte's best moment, actually. There's a great bit of feet there to sort of work that technically, you know, through the foul. So now we've got a great position. You know, when you're setting up your set plays, this is not a free kick that you normally practice because it's so close to the corner flag. So you set up like a corner, but it'd be interesting to see if they do a pullback. This is something that we always do when you're close to the blind like that on a free kick. So Fernandes on the ball. I can see Garnacho wheeling round the back.
Well, he's waiting on the edge of the penalty area. Fulham have got everybody back, 6 yards infield from the corner flag. Just a little dink in by Bruno Fernandes, headed down, and the goalkeeper gets there first. That was almost through a crowd of bodies. I think it was De Ligt who got the header, and now De Ligt has gone down as Manchester United. The centre-half has gone to ground. Fulham wanted to get the play underway straight away, and the Fulham fans are fuming because they feel De Ligt has gone down somewhat cynically there.
No, they're fuming because the referee has stopped the game when they had a great counter-attack. He's blown the whistle too early, Anthony Taylor, and they was away Fulham. It was just about...
You're right.
Yeah, he got up the goalie, and he fed it into midfield, and they were away. And unfortunately, the whistle had already gone.
No advantage played. Long ball downfield for Fulham towards Raul Jimenez, midway inside the Manchester United half. 2.5 minutes of normal time remaining in the first half here in the Premier League. Live and exclusive on Talk Sport. Fulham 0, Manchester United 0. We've got live NFL underway in less than 20 minutes time on Talk Sport 2 tonight. The NFC and the AFC Championship games to decide who reaches Super Bowl 59.
Fantastic night of
Are you
NFL.
an NFL fan,
Yeah,
Alan?
I am.
Excellent.
Big games.
We've got that on Talk Sport 2. And Super Bowl 59 itself will be on Talk Sport, so comprehensive coverage with us. Manchester United tried to smuggle it through towards Garnacho, but it's thumped upfield by Joachim Andersen, and a throw to Manchester United, I think, right in front of the Fulham dugout. 90 seconds of normal time to go.
I mean, you know, we're obviously getting near half-time now, and if I'm hammering, I'll be definitely feeling a lot more comfortable in this last sort of 10 minutes. United have got a little bit of grip, they've got more territory. They're starting to probe a little bit, starting to get a bit more of the ball. Fernandes and Garnacho on the ball. So, you know, it's starting to look a little bit more comfortable for them. And as for Fulham, just lost their way a little bit. I don't know particularly why, but they've just kind of lost their rhythm. And so it's a kind of dominant United as we get to half-time.
0-0 the score. The Fulham fans around the ground, some of them heading for the concourse areas. Bruno Fernandes with another high diagonal, and it's way overhit, miles overhit above Garnacho, and that just sails into the lower tier of the Riverside. It was very interesting listening to Ruben Amorim in the build-up talking about the two sides of Bruno Fernandes, but he completely understands him, understands the passion, and that he is a player who plays on the edge. Alan, as a manager yourself, that must be very interesting to hear.
Well, you know, it's important that, you know, you've got to have lieutenants out there, and he has to put his hat on someone as if to say, this is my man, and it was an obvious candidate, really.
20 seconds of normal time to go in the first half. Iwobi, corner of the penalty area, dinks in a left-footed cross, high to the back post, cleared away on the volley by Mazraoui. Still 0-0. I'm hearing there'll be a minute of added time at the end of the first half. Out on the right-hand side for Fulham is Lukic. More than 27,000 in the crowd here today at Craven Cottage as Fulham go back to the centre circle. 27,000 at 288 to be exact. Here's that minute of added time. And when it gets going here, it's a great ground to be at for atmosphere as well. Robinson back to the halfway line and Berger's still goalless.
And still the threat down this left side. Again, Robinson driving down that left to create room for Iwobi, who put a great cross in. And there was Harry at the back post, who normally gets in, and Missouri did a good job.
Dallow in the right back position, infield to Ugarte under pressure, one back by Smith Rowe, clever feet by Iwobi, who was caught by Ugarte. That is such a clumsy challenge, although he said throw the referee. I thought that was going to be a free kick.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it is a throw. I actually thought it was a foul, but
Marco Silva thought so too. I can tell you, looking at the little monitor we've got in the commentary position, 0-0, last few seconds of added time at the end of the first half. Ugarte with a better time challenge now. Another Fulham throw in the same position, level with the edge of the 18-yard box. They won't have time to take it. That's the half-time whistle. A first half of very few chances. Fulham have created the two best, and the threat has been down their left and the Manchester United right. Iwobi with the left-footed shot, trying to go across the face of Onana, who was able to save it in the end, and Raul Jimenez spinning the angle very tight, had Maguire against him as well and could only flash the ball, just sort of kissed the side netting on its way behind. Manchester United have not really threatened at all. In fact, Bernd Leno has not had a save to make in the first half, though they did see a little more of the ball as that first period went on. Fulham 0, Manchester United 0 at half-time.
Yeah, bang on, Joe Shannon. It took 42 minutes exactly before Leno picked it up before being tripped up as he tried to set off an attack. So basically,
sucking a player in by taking an
deeper. Should he be further forward? Why aren't they being more creative? Because if you look at the stats, that very weak shot, I mean, it wasn't even a shot, it was a ricochet really, is the only effort that Manchester United have had. They've had nothing on target, nothing from outside the box. Their XG, if XG is your thing as a guide, their XG is 0, which for Man United, I think it's unacceptable basically.
Well, you know, one of the things that Hoyland has a problem with, and when I have a problem with this United team, is runners beyond the ball, right? So if I'm a centre back for Fulham, then I'm just going to go tight of Hoyland. I ain't going to worry about a runner because there is no runner. There's no one running in behind. So you go really tight with Hoyland. It's a battle. You're probably going to win it as the centre back, and another attack fouls. So somebody to run from deep in the channels to create some space from Hoyland, which I think Fernandes can do if he plays that number 10 role. but he isn't doing that well tonight. He's playing deeper. Is he in that position to switch the play? Well, he's done it a couple of times, but not enough. So it is a kind of conundrum here tonight of how they're going to get a goal, United, because, you know, the stats, and looking at it with our naked eye, you're an experienced reporter, I'm a former manager, they have not done enough by any stretch of the quality of the club they are to threaten Fulham.
Yeah, the eye test is everything. I agree with you. We just have to look at it. They haven't threatened. And on the flip side of that, we're very fortunate to be where we are in the Johnny Haynes stand, because we can see how well Iwobi's playing, how well Robinson's playing. Their link-up is superb. The speed of the attack sometimes, the movement, the threats that they cause. And it's actually been really exhilarating, exciting to watch this Fulham side go forward at times, I think.
Yeah, they're a good side, Fulham. You know, make no mistake about it. And you know the Premier League now. You look at the 3 Bs, Brighton, Bournemouth, you know, the way that Brentford, the exceptional quality that they have. And look where they are in the league compared to Man United. They're really showing up the big boys. And Fulham are part of that story as well. They've signed really well here. They've got a good, experienced team. Their bench is actually stronger than United's. I mean, that's a hard thing to say, but I think it actually is. And it just goes to show where United are. For me, they're not a top 12 team by any stretch of the imagination, and that's what we're seeing tonight. And sometimes, when I used to go in the changing room, you would be like my statistician. You'd be going, oh, he's excellent goals, we ain't done this, we ain't done that. You don't got to tell me, I know. My naked eyes, and Amorim will know that he needs to change this game if they're going to get something out of it.
You said something fascinating during, well, lots of things, but there was one in particular that had my phone flurrying with messages, and my producer next to me nudging me saying, did you hear that? Of course I heard it. Anthony Robinson, best left back in the Premier League. You said, I could hear Liverpool fans saying, what about Andy Robertson? Definitely could hear Bournemouth fans saying Kirkes, what about him? Newcastle fans with Lewis Hall. What a great debate it is, and no real opinion is wrong, but I think he's shown really, Robinson, in that first half, why you rate him so highly.
Well, you know, I think, you know, in the game, the last 2 or 3 years, everybody knows that this is a massive player for Fulham. He's the captain tonight. There's a reason he's a captain, because he's a leader, and he shows that on the pitch. Okay, today they've been, I would say, the dominant force so far, but there's many games down here when they're not the dominant force, and you see a different type of left back. It's not just about attacking, by the way. His defensive work is sound. He's always assured, and if he gets in the last third, he's a real threat. Actually, tonight, I think I've slightly jinxed him, because his 3 crosses tonight have been poor. Actually, he had a great chance, really, to give Jimenez a tap-in and put it behind him. So he hasn't been as brilliant as he normally is, but trust me, when I say that, I'm saying that with a good authority that I think he is.
Well, listen, I don't necessarily disagree with you. What I will say is, fantastic debate, and opinions are everything in football. We love it, absolutely love it. It's been, for me, in terms of Fulham's performance, a thrilling first half. Manchester United just need to get better, and a lot better. They're lucky it's level at half-time. Live on TalkSport, where it's Fulham 0, Manchester United 0.
Game day exclusive on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Enterprise has vans of all shapes and sizes.
Ooh. Herby, oniony,
yeah,
and paired with barbecue sauce. It's
the barbecue ranch stack. Prepare to non-stop think about it. Until 11th of Feb, served from 11 a.m. Subject to availability. Participating restaurants only.
Want a day off deciding what to eat? Sit back, relax, and let us do the thinking for you. And the cooking, and the cleaning. From salmon fillet Mondays to fish and chips Fridays. IKEA family members can try a different 3-pound dish of the day every weekday in store. IKEA, the wonderful everyday. T's and C's and exclusions apply. Find out more at ikea.co.uk.
The transfer window is open, so let the chaos begin. Get the ultimate football coverage with the Sun's free pull-out Goals! With the best writers pitchside for in-depth match reports, it's all about goals! And with unrivaled news from the Premier League to League Two, it has to be goals! Stay up to date on all the latest football action. Get your free copy of Goals every Saturday, Sunday and Monday, only in the Sun.
You don't just check in to a village hotel. You work out. You jump in. You play on. You tuck in. And drink up. Village Hotels. 33 locations with everything under one roof. A huge gym with pool and great membership opportunities. And a buzzing pub.
Morning. The kid's building a treehouse in the garden.
I'm living my perfect childhood.
But come on, this isn't real. Listen, if you're serious about making your fantasy a reality, find out what your home is worth to obtain an online quote between 1st of April 2024 and 30th of June 2024 was under 3 minutes. Excludes Northern Ireland.
January can be the Monday of months. You didn't get what you wanted for Christmas, you're back at work, and it's the coldest season of the year. But Screwfix's New Year deals will help beat the January blues. Brighten up and get 10% off selected LAP floodlights. Get organised and save £10 on the Stanley.
Kick-off live on TalkSport.
This is TalkSport live at Craven Cottage, where at half-time it is Fulham 0, Manchester United 0. Let's get the latest from Betfair, the official betting partner of TalkSport's Premier League coverage.
Game day on TalkSport with Betfair. We're paying out winning bets at 90 minutes with 90-minute guarantee. Applies to match odds, 90 market sportsbook exclusive. T's and C's apply. 18+. Gambleaware.org.
And James Mackey from Betfair is with us. It's kind of been all Fulham, really. In terms of the stats, all Fulham haven't made that count in terms of goals. Manchester.
For Fulham, Raul Jimenez is 7-1. Need a fair bit to happen, don't we, really? Both teams to score, the game to finish in a draw, and Bruno Fernandes to get on the score sheet. All needs to happen to land the £511 for the Bobby Moore fund, but look, it's all to play for in the second half.
Plenty of time left. Let's get optimistic. James, thanks very much for that odds update. All thanks to Betfair. Returns accurate as of 10 minutes ago. For verification, see betfair.com. Over 18s only. Conditions apply. Go to begambleaware.org.
Game day on TalkSport with Betfair. We're paying out winning bets at 90 minutes with 90-minute guarantee. Applies to match odds, 90 market sportsbook exclusive. T's and C's apply. 18+. Gambleaware.org.
Right, let's remind you of what happened earlier today. Crystal Palace 1, Brentford 2. Leicester were behind at Tottenham early on, but they won 2-1. Another defeat for Ange Postecoglou. And in the 4:30 game, Aston Villa were held at home by West Ham United. Finished 1 apiece. Let's hear from the Hammers boss, Graham Potter, who's been speaking to TalkSport's Abigail Davis.
How proud were you of the defensive display? Because a bit of a shaky 10-15 minutes, Aston Villa came out of the blocks firing, but the way that you then settled into the match after that.
Yeah, really good. I think it was a team effort. A team effort to defend, a team desire to defend. We ran back for each other, covered each other, and then, Goalkeeper Max, Cressy, Vladdy, you know, the back five worked really hard. And as a midfield, we covered everybody. So, yeah, it was a really, like I said, I'm really happy with the performance.
A draw for West Ham, who jumped to 13th at least until 9 p.m. tonight. Aston Villa staying 8th.
They were feeling better on the field. Paquetá, Kudus, they were creating us a lot of threat. And we needed as well some fresh legs. We did with some offensive players. They helped us, but was not enough. But of course, we finished it really tired with the midfield, tired with the central back. And we drew this match, and I think we didn't deserve more than this point.
They go 1-1 and finish. Villa Celtic live on TalkSport in the Champions League. We're appalled by the threats and abuse directed at Mike. Threats in recent times. We will continue to support all investigations. Whatever you think of the decision Michael Oliver made, and for the second half, it's Fulham 0, Manchester United 0. Here's your commentary team, live and exclusive, and only on TalkSport. It's Alan Pardew and Joe Shennan.
And the clash closed out half-time. And London calling, of course, at Craven Cottage, and the second half begins. Manchester United kick us off, playing from right to left towards the Putney end in the red shirts, white shorts and black socks. And Fulham from left to right towards the Hammersmith end of the ground, white shirts, black shorts, white socks. No changes at half-time. Fulham, Leno in goal, Castagna, Anderson, Bassi and Robinson, Lukic and Berger, Wilson, Smith-Rowe and Iwobi behind Raul Jimenez. Onana, the Manchester United goalkeeper, and in the right wing-back position is Dalot on the ball at the moment. He's lost it to Robinson and it's a Fulham throw. De Ligt, Maguire, Martinez and Mazraoui. And the rest of that Manchester United back five when they're out of possession. The two in the middle are Ugarte and Bruno Fernandes. Ahmad and Garnacho in support of Højlund up front. I'll give you both sets of subs in just a moment as well. Fulham going back to their goalkeeper, Bernd Leno. A first half of very few chances, 0-0 the score, and neither goalkeeper seriously tested as yet, Alan Pardew.
Yeah, and obviously the start of the second half with both come out in the same formation, same teams. And no surprise that, because Fulham had a good first half and Man United did better as the game wore on, so that wasn't a surprise to me. And now we'll see how it shapes up. I'd like to see a little bit more goal-made action in the second half.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Forward by Onana, up towards halfway. Little touch infield by Ahmad and miscontrol by Rasmus Højlund. And there is Lukic to intercept, and that's really been the story of Højlund's game so far.
Yeah. That was slightly disappointing to start the second half like that.
But hoping for something more.
Yeah, but it was a great touch by Ahmed round the corner. I'd like to see them to, play a little bit more internal. They've been really wide, both of them, Ahmad and Garnacho. In this system that he plays, you'd expect them to be playing more infield and be around Højlund a little bit closer, but at the moment, they're playing very wide.
We're just to the left of the halfway line in the Johnny Haynes stand, only about 10-12 rows from the edge of the pitch. Lots of Fulham fans still finding their seats. 2 minutes into the second half, and nothing has happened in the second half, really. Fulham 0, Manchester United 0. The Fulham subs are the goalkeeper Bender, Reed, Muniz, Kearney, Traore, Quensa, Pereira, King and Diop. The Manchester United subs, still no Rashford in the squad, by India, Lindelof, Xerxes, Malacia, Eriksson, Euro, Casemiro, Mainu and Collier. There's a free kick just shy of halfway line for Manchester United. Crystal Palace 1, Brentford 2, Tottenham 1, Leicester 2, Aston Villa 1, West Ham 1 in the Premier League earlier this afternoon. Rangers 3-1 winners at Dundee United in the Scottish Premiership. Chelsea in the WSL beat Arsenal in the big game of the weekend by a 1-0 earlier. Chelsea and the runaway league leaders in the WSL. You can have your say on all that and more. 03717 223344 with Adrian, Alan and Henry Winter taking your calls after full time here, live and exclusive on Talk Sport. Fulham 0, Manchester United 0. Bruno Fernandes nudges the ball out to the right, and Dalot, Højlund has gone down and he gingerly gets to his feet. One of the Fulham fans near us wasn't best pleased with him going down. Ahmad trying to wriggle away from Berger, and that's a Manchester United free kick midway into opposition territory.
Yeah, and as Anderson actually caught him a little bit. But, you know, it's his reaction. You know, I want to see a little bit from him. You know, like,
you're desperate for more, Alan.
Come on, give us some more. But unfortunately, he just got up and got on with it. Anyway, a good situation again for United. Fernandes has got a free kick. He's 45 metres out, and the big fellas are up.
More than 2,500 Manchester United fans here tonight. About 2,700 to be even more exact. Bruno Fernandes, right of centre. Whips the free kick high into the penalty area. Harry Maguire was up there and it took a touch off his marker. Fulham clear through Raul Jimenez. Good ball up to Iwobi midway inside his own half, but he gives it away. Bruno Fernandes from range, always an option to shoot. Calvin Bassey closed him down, and now Bassey has burst over the halfway line. Sliding in was Dalot, got a really important touch. Otherwise Bassey midway inside his own half, Alan, at one point. A few seconds later and he's nearly halfway down the left wing.
Yeah. Usain Bolt, wasn't he, there? Really quick for a centre-back, and he almost caught him out. Unfortunately for Fulham, they don't even get the throw, so United back in possession.
How about that from Bassey? Fulham 0, Manchester United 0 on Talk Sport Live NFL. Right now over on Talk Sport 2 for the right to reach Super Bowl 59. We're live all night over on Talk Sport 2. Just download our free app, swipe between both stations at your leisure. Burnley leads tomorrow night in the Championship on Talk Sport 2, live and exclusive. As Garnacho jumps with Castagna, neither of them reach the ball on the near side. Raul Jimenez on the halfway line, back to Castagna in the right back area again. Now Anderson under pressure, not quite as composed as usual, a hurried clearance over halfway. Manchester United have started slightly the better of the two teams 5 minutes into the second half.
Yeah, a little bit more zip about, and you'd expect that. Still kind of wondering what the game plan is. There's another switch of play.
Right to the right, nodded in field by Dalot to find Ahmad. Harry Wilson is down, right in front of our commentary position. And here comes the referee, Anthony Taylor. He's stopped the game, and Fulham, no immediate activity on the subs bench. Wilson is going to need the physio on.
Yeah, I think it's his ankle that he's got a clip on. So he's having a little bit of a problem. But they've got some nice options on the bench, Fulham, you know, to replace him if he's not available to continue. But I think he'll be all right. He doesn't look in too much distress. United side a little bit better. Couple of switches of play earlier on, and if I was at half time, that would be something I would be getting into this team. Switch the play, stretch the play a little bit, and then let's create a bit of space to get Fernandes on the ball. That would be a tactic that I think would have been mentioned at half time.
And that's the voice of the very experienced Premier League manager Alan Pardew, former Premier League Manager of the Year at Newcastle in 2012. Harry Wilson being treated by two of the Fulham physios here now, and we've got little monitors in our commentary position here, and some of them are not always innocuous in these sorts of situations. I don't know whether he's just pulled up Wilson more than anything, but it is clearly a problem, and I wonder whether he'll be able to carry on.
I don't know. I think he's going to go off.
Yep.
Yeah.
Physio's made the signal. That's the last thing you want, Alan, if you're Marco Silva. Early change.
I don't think, if I'm honest, it's an important position for him in this particular game. I think Harry Wilson's been quiet. I think he's got options on the bench that can more than cover that. So I don't think this is a damaging blow to Fulham. It's a damaging blow for the boy, because obviously he wants to keep his place in the team, and he's not had a lot of game time this year, so a bit unfortunate for Harry.
I tell you what, he can barely walk without being helped by the physio. It could be a nasty one this for Wilson. He's having to put all his weight, isn't he, on his right foot, so hopefully the injury isn't too serious, but he's going to go off down the tunnel, and Fulham have had to make an immediate change as a result. Harry Wilson having jogged off here, and he applauds the Fulham fans, and it's going to be Adama Traore, who scored off the bench last weekend at Leicester in the 2-0 win. Traore is going to take to the field tonight.
Well, Traore is one of those players. He's a huge player, in terms of his presence, and his speed is obviously his asset, and he's a dangerous player here in this game. So that's a good substitution for them. I thought he might have gone Pereira, but he's gone with Traore, and he switched flanks Iwobi, so Iwobi's come over this side.
He's gone out to the left wing position, as you say, and Iwobi now playing on the Fulham right. Manchester United have possession. Neither goalkeepers had what you'd call a really serious save to make in the game. There was that one save for Onana in the first half to deny Iwobi, but you'd expect him to save that as Berger brings the ball down for Fulham. About 10 yards into the Manchester United half. Fulham go back now to Bassi. Right in front of the two dugouts is Robinson. Heavy touch. It was rattled at his feet, and Manchester United have it back. 0-0, and a very uneventful, that Wilson injury aside, 8.5 minutes of the second half.
Yeah.
Can't think of anything that's happened, Alan, really.
They're scratching around here, aren't we?
But
I would say that United are a little bit tighter, so it's giving Fulham more of a problem when they got the ball.
And such is the Premier League. You never know when it's suddenly going to ignite the excitement here. And always a great privilege to be at Premier League grounds around the country for Talk Sport. Iwobi trying to thread the ball towards the left, and Smith Rowe has been a bit quiet. Manchester United win it back, and De Ligt will roll it all the way back to Onana in green. Manchester United now with Lisandro Martinez midway inside his own half of the field, and we'll have a former Manchester United assistant manager in René Meulenstein on the breakfast show tomorrow morning from 6 a.m. Jeff Stelling and Annie McCoist with all of the rest of the reaction. Here come Manchester United in the penalty area. Poor back pass by Castagna across the face of his own goal. Hoyland nearly in. Bassi there to sweep it away out of nothing.
Yeah, Hoyland should have been alive to that a little bit. Bassi had just read it and was quick enough to deal with it. But it was a great opportunity for him.
0-0. Manchester United with a throw at the Putney end. That's where the away fans are. Mazraoui with it, infield from near the corner flag. Bruno Fernandes couldn't get it under control. Hooked up into the air. Those dark overcast skies by Smith Rowe for Fulham. It drops on the halfway line to Ugarte. Manchester United enjoying plenty of the ball at the moment. Maguire down the middle to Hoyland. He's held it up. He's in a tangle, that one-on-one with Anderson. Played it back to Ugarte. Hoists it wide left to the near side. Garnacho brings it out of the end, nudges it infield, and there was a trip on Mazraoui right on the edge of the penalty area. It's a free kick to Manchester United. The foul by Castagna. That was a nervy moment for him.
Yeah, and I should think VAR might have a look at that. It's close to the line when he makes that challenge. Oh, it's just outside. He's,
couple of inches out.
That is so tight. He's just late, and Missouri just nips in. Great situation, Fernandes, though. What is this, like 3 yards outside the near post? To the side of the box there. So 10 yards in from the edge of the box. And he's eyeing it up as as Fulham assemble their wall.
It's shooting range, isn't it, Alan?
Yeah, he's chewing it over Garnacho. Can't let me have this one. Curl that over that wall.
Well, he's got a great goal-scoring record against Fulham. Bruno Fernandes. Garnacho scored his first Premier League goal on this ground in 2022. Fulham 0, Manchester United 0 on Talk Sport. It is very much to the left of centre, but you certainly wouldn't put it past a player with the quality of Bruno Fernandes. 4 in the Fulham wall. It's a big Fulham wall as well. Castagna, Jimenez, Berger and Lukic, and Leno's not had a save to make. He's just organising the wall at the moment away to our left. It's surely going to be Bruno Fernandes. Onana is on the halfway line gesturing to somebody in the box at the moment, because there are 2 Manchester United players next to the wall. Maybe he's trying to tell them to make life difficult for the goalkeeper.
He is. That's exactly what he's doing.
Free kick edge of the box. Bruno Fernandes to curl it low, right underneath the wall and into the side netting. A clever effort.
That comes from your scouting, because Fulham don't have a guy lying on the floor behind the wall. And obviously they've seen that Man United, and he's tried to play that under the wall, and he's unlucky actually. He's just mishit that, and if he'd have got it right, they would have scored. So it was a good all-round ploy by Man United there, with the keeper coming out and directing as if they was going to go far post. Very, very close, and there is not a surprise, is it? Hoyland is going off, and unfortunately for him, that is a really, really poor showing in the number 9 shirt. And Xerxes, sometimes it works for you as a striker, not getting picked. He can come on now, and no pressure on him, and hopefully have a great game.
Now 11 games without scoring for Hoyland, so Xerxes comes on for Manchester United, and Euro for De Ligt, and De Ligt did take a knock on Thursday night against Rangers. He was a minor doubt before this game, so a double substitution made by Ruben Amorim, and Fulham are on the attack. Mazraoui has to come across from right full-back to clear. It'll sweep out of play for a Fulham throw, 10 yards from the halfway line, and that's the first we've heard really from the Fulham fans in this second half here. Fulham 0, Manchester United 0. We haven't yet played an hour at Craven Cottage, but the Fulham fans are on their feet at the Hammersmith end, and you can hear them all around us. Live on Talk Sport, Iwobi with his back to goal, out to the right and Castagna. Now Anderson to the halfway line and Bassi. Remember, Fulham starting the evening 7 points clear of Manchester United in the Premier League. Fulham would go 9th with a win tonight. Manchester United with a victory could only go as high as 12th. Bassi on the halfway line for Fulham, out to the left, the far side, and Robinson now checks back to Bassi. Goalless on Talk Sport with Sky Sports. Don't forget you can stream the biggest Premier League games. Here comes Smith Rowe for Fulham, corner of the penalty area, away from Ugarte, out to the left, and Traore shimmies beyond Mazraoui, left-footed ball in, cleared away by Lenny Euro. You can stream the biggest Premier League games available with no contract on now. Search Now Sports. That's better from Fulham, Alan Pardew.
Yeah, Smith Rowe had a great opportunity there to run at their back four, and he turned it down. And that's when you get him in that position, that's when you really want the number 10 to kind of exercise some talent. And he passed it up there and passed it out wide and passed the situation on, which I wouldn't want to see if I was the manager. Fulham, though, you know, this second period have taken a while to get going. It's only now that they're starting to exert themselves a little.
And no closer to the opening goal. Neither team keeps a great number of clean sheets. Foul by Castagna, slide tackle on Garnacho, free kick to Manchester United. Bruno Fernandes, arms outstretched. Been a couple of fouls by Castagna in recent minutes, no yellow card. On the halfway line is Ahmad for Manchester United. Maybe it'll only take one goal to win the game tonight under the lights at Craven Cottage. Martinez over the halfway line for Manchester United. Early ball up the inside left, well cut out by Iwobi. Now Raul Jimenez, midway inside his own half, back to Berger. Angle ball to the left, and Robinson over the halfway line. Quick ball down the middle. Traore takes it in its stride. He can bomb forward here, 25 yards out. He wriggles away from Ugarte. He's poked it towards the right. He was caught, was he? Lisandro Martinez has gone down. The assistant now flags. And what's the referee going to decide to do here, Anthony Taylor? Martinez is down. I think it's a free kick to Manchester United. Traore maybe one touch too many, but as he raced across towards the centre, Martinez jumped in at him and then just came off worse.
Yeah, I think Iwobi was offside. I think that's what he's given. As he toe poked it, I think Iwobi was offside. But, you know, it's Traore, he's dangerous. He come running off that side of the pitch, running across on his right foot. Couldn't really get an angle for the shot, and in the end he just run into trouble.
Well, whatever happens tonight, 03717 22 3344. And the number to call Talk Sport will be live until 10 o'clock, taking your calls tonight. Alan, Adrian and Henry Winter. And hopefully we'll bring you some live post-match reaction as well with Ruben Amorim and Marco Silva. And Marco Silva is in conversation on the far side with some of his assistants, Gonçalo Santos and Stuart Gray, who's been at Fulham for a long time behind the scenes. And they are going to make another change. I can't quite see who it is yet, but we'll find out in a few moments, no doubt. 0-0. Onana long for Manchester United towards Xerxes, who scored the winner in the reverse fixture on the opening weekend. Away by Calvin Bassi for Fulham, and now Berger forward towards halfway. Raul Jimenez back to Lukic. Lukic into the Manchester United half. To his right is Iwobi, tried to nutmeg Bruno Fernandes. No way beyond the Manchester United captain. Ugarte just shy of halfway. Forward ball to Xerxes. Midway inside the Fulham half, back to Ugarte again. Manchester United keep comfortable possession as they seek to break the deadlock here. Garnacho 30 yards out, dead centre, away from Smith Rowe and back to the halfway line. And both teams actually quite effective at getting men behind the ball in key moments, and maybe that's partly why we've hardly seen a clear-cut chance in the game.
Yeah, I mean, on the defensive side, both teams have been sound. You know, there's not been much space. There's been very, very tight. We've only had sporadic chances, you know, people getting in down the outside.
Mazraoui left corner of the penalty area with the in-swinging cross headed away by Anderson. It's going to be Rodrigo Muniz for Jimenez in a moment. That's not a great surprise, I don't think, for Fulham. Little back heel by Ahmad out on the right. Mazraoui trying to nutmeg Bassi. Touch off Bassi, the Fulham defender. And that is another throw to Manchester United, close to the away section. Well, we'll get confirmation of that change now. With the electronic board that's going to go up in the air. Rodrigo Muniz, who has played largely off the bench this season for Fulham. His last Premier League goal was the famous winner at Chelsea. Fulham's long-awaited win at Stamford Bridge, and it's a striker for a striker up front.
Yeah, you know, he's a great player, this kid. And yeah, back end of last year, he was Fulham's best player.
Yeah.
He had a great run. And so, you know, him and Jimenez, he switches that about Marco, and he's a great choice for him.
In the 64th minute, 0-0. Martinez, angled ball wide to the Manchester United left, the near side position, Garnacho, corner of the penalty area, teases it infield to Bruno Fernandes, under pressure, gives it straight to Iwobi, heavy touch by Smith Rowe. Muniz has held that up well in front of Maguire, who ended up on the floor, and now Berger wins it back. Real tenacity from Fulham in midfield, and a clever pass, Guile from Berger out to the right near Iwobi. He's got three in the middle to aim at. Iwobi with the very early cross. Traore tried to head that from the edge of the penalty area. It's reached Robinson on the far side instead. Iwobi in the middle, Muniz in the middle, in towards Muniz with a cross, and a header away by Harry Maguire again for Manchester United. Real threat potentially from both sides if they can just find that killer touch in the final third. Very much feels like a game, Alan, that could go either way.
Yeah, there's not much in it at all, is there? Both sides, both organised and well. They still really had a great chance, have we? You know, it's just been sort of close-ish.
Floated in by Traore, out comes Anana, and he takes it with good authority, the Manchester United goalkeeper, high above his head, and a quick ball out to Bruno Fernandes, just shy of the centre circle, lovely diagonal hit towards Garnacho, good intent anyway, just slightly overhit, and it's out to play. You can hear the ironic cheers, it's a throw.
Yeah, Fernandes was a great kind of technical ability, just sort of swazzed it to the left wing, but unfortunately just got a bit too much pace on it. But it's an evenly balanced game. I mean, you know, it's really difficult to say who's going to win this. The one thing I would say is the last 4 games I've been to have been 0-0.
Oh, Alan.
Just to put that in there.
You should have told me that before the game.
I should have cancelled, should I?
I was thinking it'd be plenty of goals. Well, who knows, maybe it still could be.
Yeah, you never know.
20 minutes into the second half, and it is still 0-0 on another great weekend of Premier League football so far. Anthony Robinson for Fulham inside left. He's given it straight to Mazraoui. Not sure what he was thinking there, really. They doubled up on Robinson, did Mazraoui and Ahmad, and Manchester United go back to Martinez, and they have worked hard and impressively out of shape, Manchester United, and they were certainly criticised for that under Erik ten Hag.
Yeah, there's no doubt that the character and the discipline of the team is there tonight. They just want that little bit of quality, that star player that you know United always have to pop up and get them the goal. And Fernandes, Garnacho, someone like that, or a Harry Maguire from a corner, that's the moment they need, and they could see this one through.
The next game is away in Bucharest at FCSB in the Europa League on Thursday. That'll be live on TalkSport 2. We'll have Tottenham's Elfsborg. Spurs beaten by Leicester today in the Premier League. Crystal Palace 1, Brentford 2. Aston Villa 1, West Ham 1. The other results from today. We'll have the Southampton owner, Dragan Solak, on White and Jordan on TalkSport tomorrow from 10. Given their predicament at the bottom, that'll be a fascinating listen, I'm sure. On the halfway line for Manchester United is Ahmad, and a great ping cross field, right to left. There were 2 Manchester United players out here. They'd isolated Castagna, who headed it away. Garnacho dribbles infield, but he's checked by Lukic, and now Bruno Fernandes at walking pace. Little lob over the top that he gets completely wrong. Travelled about a yard further forward, and then there was a foul on Lukic anyway, when he completely mishit that, Bruno Fernandes, and it's a free kick to Fulham as we go towards the final quarter of the game, would you believe it?
Yeah, I know. But Fernandes, you know, as a manager, you've got to let him have those moments. He didn't get it right, but his intention was there. You know, the intent was there and the idea was there. He just didn't exercise the technical side of it that well, and unfortunately it played into Fulham's hands.
A long high pass by Anderson. He does love that long diagonal ball, but that's overhit towards Traore, and it's a throw to Manchester United in the right wing-back position. As we get another shot of Edwin van der Sar on our monitor, the great former Fulham and Manchester United goalkeeper. Great to see him looking well and here tonight.
Yeah, and he actually could have played in goal tonight for both teams, quite comfortably. at 54 or whatever he is. I might be doing him a disservice there.
Well, he wouldn't have had much to do, would he? Leno's not had a shot to save, and I think that is the notable disappointment, isn't it, for Amorim and Manchester United, as another attack comes to a very quick close. Manchester United have not looked a threat at all in the game, really, so far.
No, one of those lovely moments in the game when there's a foul throw. You just think, how can that be possible at a professional level?
In the Premier League.
Yeah, it happens.
Don't see it very often. Castagna will take the throw for Fulham in the right-back position.
I remember losing my head, actually, at half-time once.
Oh, yeah.
That a winger had taken a throw and given a, foul throw, and they broke on us. Don't ever let him take a throw in again, was the statement.
I bet that was a half-time team talk to remember. You can't tell us which club that was.
It was probably at Reading when I was younger, and it was it was probably Jamie Curitan, because Curo was, a brilliant goal scorer, but he did used to irritate me a little bit at times.
Poacher, but not the best taker of throw-ins.
A great lad, you, Jamie. He's listening. I love you. I still love you.
A very experienced Premier League manager, Alan Pardew, with us for commentary tonight. And Alan will be taking your calls after the game is done. 03717 223344. Manchester United have it with Bruno Fernandes, who pops a long ball up to the halfway line, well controlled by Diogo Dalot. Takes it in his stride down the left, infield to Xerxes. Gets away from Bassi, does he? No. Bassi, excellent again tonight. He wins it in front of Xerxes. Fulham's two centre-halves have been completely dominant. And now Traore looking to barge his way beyond Mazraoui, and he's never going to do that. Euro, in fact. And it's a free kick. Maybe, well, I think it would have been given to Manchester United, but the referees allowed them to play on. Anyway, again, not a great deal happening in the game, but such is the intrigue of Premier League football. The intensity is mostly there, although Manchester United have just slowed the game down. It's 0-0. I wonder who will be the happier manager overall.
Yeah, if I was Marco, I'd be really disappointed, actually, in this second half. I expected Fulham to push on. They didn't have the midweek game. They're well rested. There's no excuse for them not to be kind of really pushing here. I actually thought, United coming off that tough game against Rangers would needed to have been in the lead at half-time. But they've looked good second half. They looked fresher, sharper to the ball.
20 minutes to go, 0-0. And a Manchester United attack down the right. It comes to an end, a miscontrol by Ahmad and a throw to Fulham. You were spot on, Alan, about Edwin van der Sar, by the way. He is 54.
Ah, you see. I'm good at heights and ages.
Not put a foot wrong. Headed by Bruno Fernandes downfield, and then Sanderberger over the top for Fulham. That could turn into an interesting ball. It's bounced into the path of Iwobi. Muniz is waiting in the middle for the cross. Iwobi corner of the penalty area. On the overlap is Timothy Castagna to dink it into the back post. Headed behind by Harry Maguire. Great defending, great header. Fulham get a corner. Would you believe it? The first corner of the game.
Well, that was Fulham's best move of the second half. Iwobi down this side this time. Castagna hangs it up, but Harry Maguire, one of the assets that he has, he's so dominant in the air. He backpedaled and headed it out for a corner. So, as you say, our first corner, can you believe that? Wow.
71 minutes in, Lukic is going to take it here for Fulham, in front of the Hammersmith end, and they're all on their feet behind the goal, and Manchester United have brought all the players in red back to defend it. Lukic will take this right-footed and in swinging into the near post, headed away by Xerxes. They've had lots of problems defending corners, remember. Manchester United, no such difficulties there, as Garnacho wins them a throw now in the left-back spot.
Yeah, defended that well, and you need your striker to come back and do his defensive duties, and Xerxes is a big unit. I don't know what he must be, 6'2", 6'3", so he's a dominant force to come back there and add to the back line. Give you that renewed strength that you need, set place.
Ugarte has smuggled the ball forward towards the halfway line, and then it's given away by Anderson back to Ugarte. Just outside the centre circle, Bruno Fernandes shy of the halfway line, angled ball towards the right, and Ahmad, who had to check back to find Bruno Fernandes, up the inside right channel towards Mazraoui, and the flag stays down against Mazraoui, who looks to peel infield away from Bassi. Bruno Fernandes, good touch infield from the edge of the area, good defending by Anderson to smuggle it away in front of Alejandro Garnacho. Forward now goes Traore, chopped down by Ugarte. Here comes the yellow card, right in front of the referee. That first booking for Manchester United, who, remember, are yet to have a shot on target, yet to have a meaningful effort in the game.
Yeah, Ugarte was caught out by just how quick Traore is there. He's sort of making the challenge. He probably thinks he's going to make that challenge, but he's just got that burst of pace over like 2-3 metres, and in the end it looks a clumsy challenge, but probably at his timing he thought he was going to be okay. Gets his yellow card, and he's done a little bit better actually second half, Ugarte. I thought he struggled in the first half a little bit.
Well, he gets to his feet and bends forward to fiddle with his bootlaces, and quick word from his captain Bruno Fernandes. No clean sheet in 13 for Manchester United. Fulham heading towards that period of the game, as are Manchester United, where they tend to come on strong in front of goal. Both teams score plenty late on in the Premier League. Maybe that'll be the case tonight with 17 to go.
Yeah, let's hope so. I mean, I always thought, you know, when you're 0-0 when you're the home team, you're slightly more nervous. It slightly favours the away team, I always thought. You know, when you're 78, 80 minutes 0-0.
Yep. Is that because the onus is on the home team to try and fight in the crowd?
Exactly. And also, I think you get a bit loose because you kind of you're going for the winner. You know, you're trying to go for it, and you obviously leave holes and gaps, which hopefully will happen tonight, and either Fulham will score or Man United get one on the break. It'd be nice to see a goal.
Fulham 0, Manchester United 0. Garnacho on the left-hand side. There hasn't been one from Manchester United yet anyway. And just a couple for Fulham, and they were straightforward saves from the goalkeeper. I think I can see Toby Collier ready to come on for Manchester United over on the opposite side. The ball is back with Castagna in the right-back area. And actually now, Ugarte has gone down. Referee doesn't have to stop the game, not a head injury. Emil Smith-Rowe racing right down the middle, sets up Traore, left edge of the penalty area, hammers it over the top right-footed. Well, the game didn't have to stop, but Manchester United was slow to react. And I think Ugarte is about to be substituted. And Lisandro Martinez not happy with Traore, and the two threatening to go head-to-head, and the referee can't see this at the moment. He's finally turned around as the two are separated. Lisandro Martinez wanted the game stopped, I think. Didn't have to stop it, Fulham.
No, but that's Martinez all over. You know, he calls a fight anywhere. You know, he's just one of those type of players. And unfortunately for Man United, you know, he's gone down. He couldn't carry on, Ugarte. You could tell he's just like, it wasn't like he went down to buy time or you know, to kill the game. He actually went down because he couldn't run anymore. Anthony Taylor decided to play on, and he has every right, Traore, to go on. And he smashes that. And actually, he needed to just have a little bit more culture on that shot. In the end, Martinez has grabbed him, and there's a little bit of a scuffle. There's nothing in it.
Now Ugarte walks off to the far side, and it is Collier who is coming on for Manchester United here, the youngster who had his European debut in the middle of the week against Rangers, and all 8 of his senior appearances have come this season. Toby Collier on in midfield, socks rolled all the way down to his ankles.
Yeah, tall lad, isn't he?
He is in the middle of midfield alongside Bruno Fernandes. Onana taking an age to take this goal kick, and the Fulham fans think he's time wasting. Is that Manchester United time wasting at Fulham?
I don't think so.
Here come Fulham with the scoop ball over the top by Smith-Rowe, misdirected. Traore though has barged Mazraoui aside, and he's kept it in play. Great physicality, that'll get the Fulham fans involved in the game, but they go all the way back to the goalkeeper Leno. Leno's first time pass, a risky one to the left back position. Robinson, his touch takes him infield, back to Bassi on his own dead ball line. Good composure by Fulham. Robinson plays the ball forward from the left back area up the left hand touchline towards Traore. Mazraoui in the way, and it's a Manchester United throw. Fulham 0, Manchester United 0 on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Enterprise has 450 branches with all the vehicles your business needs. We've got NFL on TalkSport 2 right now. At Burnley against Leeds tomorrow in the Championship on TalkSport 2. That'll be a cracking Monday night football for you over on TalkSport 2. 13 minutes plus added time to go. Bruno Fernandes was under pressure as he prodded the ball wide to Garnacho, who had to race almost off the pitch to keep it in. Now Lisandro Martinez, 5 yards shy of the halfway line. Out to Bruno Fernandes on the near side of the left. Manchester United have left it later where Fulham in recent years. Are they going to do that again here today? Bruno Fernandes with a lovely reverse ball. Garnacho inside the penalty area. Angle completely against him. Cuts it back. Collier couldn't get there. Poked away by Berger. Now Lisandro Martinez deflected in. Lisandro Martinez with a screamer for Manchester United. It took a massive touch to loop over the goalkeeper, who got a hand to it but couldn't keep it out. And Manchester United, with their first effort on target in the game, take the lead with 12.5 minutes to go. They barely threatened tonight so far, but maybe Manchester United are going to pinch the points late on at Craven Cottage again. Fulham 0, Manchester United 1.
Well, Fernandes, a great little pass into Garnacho. He does a great bit of skill and puts the defender on the floor, goes for the pullback, and a Fulham player gets a toe in. I can't remember who it is. He gets a toe in there, and then it comes out to Martinez, and he just lashes it. It takes a massive deflection. Lino gets a hand to it, but he can't get enough on it, and it just hits the bar and goes in. It's an unbelievable goal. And United, who have done it so often here, late goal again here, and they lead 1-0.
Absolutely. The goal has come, and it's gone Manchester United's way, and maybe it's their night. Lisandro Martinez rifled it left-footed, much in the way that he did at Anfield in the Premier League a few weeks ago, but it certainly hit Lukic, and then Leno. Maybe that made it a much more difficult save. He got his top hand to it, but the ball nestled in the top corner. Yeah,
it didn't have enough pace for him to kind of push it over the bar. It kind of was dropping down, and he had no pace on it at that point, and he could just get a floppy hand to it, and unfortunately it's hit the underside of the bar and got in. Now we've got to have a reaction. So, 11, 12 minutes to go. What can Fulham do? 1-0 down to United.
And Fulham, in fairness to Manchester United, have not created a great deal themselves at all. Euro back to Onana, who clears. Fulham, 1 defeated 11 in all competitions coming into tonight. Martinez with a heavy deflection on the shot, but he will take the credit. Manchester United are going to make a double change shortly. Kobbie Mainoo, and I think Tyrell Malacia is going to come on for Manchester United as well, and they want to get that change made. Ruben Amram and co. Are they heading for a rare away victory in the Premier League, Manchester United, and a rare clean sheet? It's Garnacho going off first of all, and here comes Kobbie Mainoo. And let's see who else's number is up. It's Malacia for Mazraoui.
Yeah, I mean, fair play to United. Second half been so much better. They're not really threatened, haven't kind of bombarded Fulham's goal, but their possession's been better. They've been faster to the ball. They've stopped Fulham contributing or getting chances, and they've nullified Fulham in this second half. And then sometimes as an away team, that you have to do that. You have to nullify the opposition, stop them doing what they're doing, and then something might break for you. And that's exactly what's happened. They've got the goal at a great time, and now a couple of substitutions to try and see the game out.
10 minutes to go on Talk Sport. It's Fulham 0, Manchester United 1. Berger out on the left corner of the penalty area for Fulham. A little ponderous in the build-up. Goes backwards to Bassi. We will take your calls on the game and the rest of the evening's football. 03717 223344 on Talk Sport once we're done tonight. And you'll hear from Ruben Amram and Marco Silva. Bassi for Fulham. Angles the pass to the left-hand side, and Robinson. Lisandro Martinez with a deflected effort to put Manchester United into the lead, and Fulham have got 9 minutes plus added time to respond. Playing from left to right. Berger infield to Iwobi. Iwobi trying to jink away from Kobbie Mainoo, goes backwards to the centre circle, and Anderson. Castagna again. Fulham fans getting a bit more impatient now maybe. Traore out on the right, early ball infield to Castagna, back to Lukic, midway into the Manchester United half, about 6 yards infield. Hugging the touchline again is Traore, early ball over the top, and Lukic has chested it down. The angle is against him, he whips it across, headed away by Harry Maguire. Collier, not enough time on the ball to bring it down. He got lucky that Ahmad was there to help him out and clear it away. And Fulham are back on the halfway line with Bassi, who's chipped it straight out of play. Alan Pardew.
Yeah, well, he's brought fresh legs on, some energy, and they've been in and around the ball. Good kind of chance for Fulham there. Good little point. Traore's come out here on the right hand side, where I couldn't quite work out why he went on the left side in the first place. He's far better out here where he's more comfortable on that right foot to go down the outside. Now we have Pereira. I think is that Pereira coming on. Now he will add something different. He has got some real technical flair. And Tom Kearney, so he's gone for a couple of real kind of offensive situations with players. So a change of format for Fulham.
Lukic and Smith-Rowe going off, and yes, Kearney, the club captain and the former Manchester United man, Andreas Pereira, onto the field. Manchester United lead by a goal to nil. 6 defeats in 9 in the Premier League coming into today. But Ruben Amorim's team may be heading for back-to-back victories in all competitions. After the Thursday night win at home to Rangers, where they struck very late, and they've scored relatively late on here. 78 minutes gone, at the point that Martinez, with the long-range left-footed shot, deflection of Lukic, goalkeeper couldn't keep it out, and now they're in front. Good layoff by Muniz, square to Fulham for Pereira, out to the right wing position. Here is Traore, takes a touch, Iwobi in the middle. Traore holds up play, onto the left foot, whips in the cross to the back post. Tom Kearney's brought it down brilliantly, and he's down by the dead ball line. He tries to jink away from Malacia, out to the left, and Robinson to stand one up. Traore goes up for the header, over the top of Martinez, but over the top of the crossbar as well. Still 1-0 to Manchester United.
Yeah, that was Robinson's best cross, actually. He was a little bit late, Traore, getting there, but Martinez still had to do well. It was great defending, and you know, the defensive performance of Fulham tonight actually has been very, very good. Goalies looked assured, the back three have all defended well, wing backs have done their jobs. They just lack fluidity. You know, they've not really had a great kind of rhythm to their game, Man United, but they're doing the job here at 1-0.
Yes, 1-0 to Manchester United, that is the score. And the latest odds from Betfair, the official betting partner of TalkSport's Premier League coverage. Fulham to win 25-1, the draw at 4-1. Manchester United 9-2 on to win. That's all thanks to Betfair, who are paying out winning bets at 90-minute with 90-minute guarantee. Terms and conditions apply. 18+, begambleaware.org. Not long left at Craven Cottage, 6 minutes plus stoppage time. Fulham have it with Kearney, the lime green boots on. Out to the left from Anderson to Robinson, who's midway into the Manchester United half. Kearney, silky player, back to the centre circle, and Sander Berge, Marco Silva, pacing up and down in his technical area. Here on the right is Traore. Infield to Berge. Manchester United stout defensively so far, but Pereira's poked it up the inside right. Traore with the cross, it comes off Lisandro Martinez. Now Castagna, level with the edge of the penalty area, back infield to Pereira. They're moving it more quickly now, and that's a lovely way to pass by Berge, just maybe a little too much on it in the end. Up the inside right of the penalty area, chasing was Castagna, couldn't get there, it's a goal kick.
See, I think Pereira improves Fulham. Whenever I've seen Fulham this year, I always thought he has a few more ideas. He's a different type of player to Smith-Rowe, and there he's created a couple of situations already with just little probing passes in between the gaps that United have. But United have been resilient, and as I say, not really had a chance, have they, second half, Fulham?
No, they haven't. And Onana only had that one save from Iwobi in the first half, and as we've said a few times, it wasn't a particularly serious one. There's Sir Jim Ratcliffe watching on from the Riverside on the far side of the field. Manchester United are leading by a goal to nil in the 86th minute. Out on the left for Fulham is Robinson, 1-2 with Kearney. Robinson trying to cross, sliding in is Lenny Euro. It's a Fulham corner. Some of the Fulham fans heading for the exits, but it's not done yet.
Well, certainly in front of their own fans as well. You know, that's the end where Fulham's main sort of voice is, so they'll be trying to suck this one in. Good chance for Fulham.
Pereira's going to place the ball down. Ruben Amorim having to be told by the fourth official to step back into his technical area at the moment, as Pereira prepares to deliver. Right-footed and then swinging in towards Iwobi at the near post. It's cleared away and then thumped downfield by Mainu. Ahmad is going to race after it, but Robinson has got about a 20-yard head start, and his pace is there too as he heads it back to Leno.
Yeah, no, there's no problem there. So Fulham now going to press. Man United's team that he's put on is to see this out. So he's got a lot of young boys in there and a lot of energy.
Well, you know all about Premier League management, Alan, and how frustrated will Marco Silva be if Fulham don't get something out of this game?
Well, I'm pretty confident I know what he's going to say about the second half, that he's disappointed because, you know, first half they looked so much better.
Pereira's angled ball to the right is overhit. Castagna can't get there. Not the free-flowing Fulham that we have seen in recent matches. 2 goals in each of their last 5 Premier League games, but barely looked like scoring tonight, as had Manchester United, but Lisandro Martinez from the edge of the box has got them in front, and it's 1-0 with 3 minutes plus added time to go now. So time running out. Ruben Amorim and Marco Silva will hopefully be able to bring you live on TalkSport after the game before 10 o'clock. And Adrian, Alan and Henry Winter taking your calls. 03717 223344. Xerxes down for Manchester United, now on his feet again. Robinson away on the Fulham left with a lovely cross towards Muniz. Harry Maguire heads it away in front of his own goalkeeper. Back out to Robinson, left edge of the penalty area. Malacia gets back with a challenge. It's another Fulham corner on that far side.
And you know, it's always funny, isn't it, our games, you know, they're flowing, a goal goes in this end and suddenly Fulham come alive. And they've looked so much better in this, like, 5-10 minute period. And you wonder, why didn't you start the second half like that? Corner situation.
Well, they're going to whip it into the near post again and really test Onana, who's been vulnerable in that sort of situation. Pereira with a little dink into the near post. Anderson's header off the line by Collier. Toby Collier at the back post to clear it off the line for Manchester United. Anderson denied. And it was so nearly 1-1. With just 2 minutes to go. Now Traore's tearing down the right-hand side. Picks out Castagna. Castagna with a right-footed cross. Hit on the volley! Over the top by Rodrigo Muniz. It bounced into the turf. Looped over the bar from the edge of the penalty area. 2 big chances for Fulham. Stays 1-0 to Manchester United.
And all the Man United players are going to Collier and giving him a good old shake. Because it was a definite goal. It was in. It's so close. He's done brilliant to clear it. He's just took a step back. And in doing that, he's managed to head it off the line. It's a great clearance, and that's as good as scoring a goal. So he's saved Man United, and Amrin will be very pleased that he put him on the pitch.
Absolutely. Put players on the posts.
Yeah.
Set plays.
Absolutely.
That's as good as a goal for Manchester United. It's kept them in front. Fulham with a minute of normal time to go. Added time to come. A minute of normal time to go on TalkSport. And Fulham are a goal down. Anderson, lip of the centre circle, square to Bassi. There was heavy rain earlier, that's gone away now. Fulham with Bassi finding Iwobi, lip of the centre circle, 1-2 with Kearney. Then he strokes it wide left to Robinson, taking on the fullback Malacia. Robinson heads for the dead ball line, then checks back, finds Iwobi. Iwobi 10 yards from the edge of the box, reverse ball, easy for Onana. And some of the Fulham fans see that as their cue to now head for the exits.
Yeah, that's so disappointing when you're pushing, and an offensive player does a really bad move and puts a nothing crossing, which unfortunately Iwobi did there. Took all the kind of steam out of everything, and now your fans are on the way out. It's
good ball, Xerxes for Manchester United. Out to Bruno Fernandes as we head towards stoppage time. Deflected, left-footed cross, bounces in the air over the top of Bassi, and it's gathered by Leno before Ahmad could get there. 6 added minutes at the end of the game on TalkSport. Fulham are a goal down. Manchester United have got a great record on this ground. Is it going to carry on tonight? Is Andrew Martinez with the only goal of the game? Or is there something left in Fulham late on? We've seen some late Fulham goals on this ground this season. Here is Castagna in the right wing position, about 10 yards from the corner of the penalty area. Back to Sander Berge. Manchester United with everybody in red, deep behind the ball. Kearney, who can shoot from range, but he's blocked off by Collier. Midway inside the Manchester United half. Bassi steps on the ball. Kearney again looks up, looking for options really, and he has to nudge it back to Bassi. Early ball down the middle. Pereira over the top, into the penalty area. Muniz can't get there. Well played, Harry Maguire actually blocked him off goal kick.
Yeah, and they're huffing and puffing, but not really gives Man United a massive problem. And you've got to say that Man United look comfortable at the moment to see this one out.
Well, who'd have thought Lisandro Martinez, who has not scored many goals for Manchester United, and in fact I make that just his third in his Manchester United career. But the goal he scored at Anfield, the goal he scored this evening,
crucial.
1-0 to Manchester United, absolutely, Alan. With 5 of the 6 added minutes still to go. Bassi with a slightly risky back pass. Xerxes was nearly there, but Leno cleared upfield. High towards Muniz. Won the header against Maguire, but Toby Collier's there to smuggle it away from Tom Kearney. Collier's header off the line for Manchester United from Anderson's header. Could be so key. Amrim's on the edge of the technical area again. Might actually have been one of his staff who was told to go and sit back down earlier. High ball by Bassi to the edge of the penalty area. Cleared away. It was Martinez getting in front of Muniz.
Muniz was brave there, though. He stuck his head in where the boots were flying to try and keep the attack alive.
Well, 2 of the 6 added have been played now. Fulham playing from left to right. 4 minutes to go. 1-0 down Fulham. Berger steers the ball square. Kearney, 35 yards out. Early ball towards Muniz, cleared away. Only as far as Bassi. Bassi, square to the left-hand side in Iwobi. Everybody inside the Manchester United half-bar. Bernd Leno, the Fulham goalkeeper. Bassi, just forward of the centre circle again. Kearney wide left to Iwobi. They've got to get the ball in the penalty area if they're to cause damage. Iwobi from 25 yards out. Crossfield, header away by Manchester United's Diogo Dalot this time. It'll drop to Timothy Castagna. Infield to Berger. Manchester United sitting off him. Berger only 30 yards out, but it feels a heck of a long way from goal at the moment, as we've reached nearly the halfway point in added time at the end of the game. 1-0 to Manchester United. Iwobi wide to the near side. Traore, he's got some space to smash in the cross. High towards Anderson, headed away. It'll drop down to Robinson from the angle, to loft it in right-footed. Castagna goes up, only half away, and hammered over the bar by Muniz. Well, there should never have been a chance there for Fulham. Manchester United should have dealt better with the cross, but maybe they deserve a little bit of fortune. Muniz high over the crossbar. Maybe it's not going to be Fulham's night.
Well, that would have just put it in the box, particularly at the end. Defenders do strange things, and this bubbles right perfectly for Muniz, and he should do better. And he's actually quite good from that kind of, that kind of range. He's got good technique, but he gets right under that and launches it over the bar. And at 93-34, unfortunately, the clock is against them, Fulham.
Yeah, absolutely. Just over 2 minutes now for Fulham. It doesn't feel like the goal is going to come for them. What a good run at home in the Premier League, but that might be about to end. Jumping is Traore right in front of the commentary position, about midway inside his own half. It's forward by Bruno Fernandes into the left edge of the area. Ahmad in a challenge with Bassi. Ahmad has held it up well, down by the dead ball line. Is he going to go for the corner flag here? That feels like the sensible thing. He's played Mainu in with a back heel, back towards Ahmad, and Mainu's given it away. They didn't need to lose the ball there, Manchester United. Anderson's playing as a forward now, the centre half, as Traore looked long, but Manchester United win it back. Great pass, Malacia, down the left, the near side to Mainu, forward to Ahmad, left edge of the penalty area, a little back heel towards Kobbie Mainoo, who could be in. It could fall for Ahmad. It's into the bottom corner. It's Manchester United's night. Ahmad with a low shot that squeezed beyond everybody and nestled into the far corner. 2,500 Manchester United fans celebrate, and this is the perfect early birthday present for Ruben Amorim. Manchester United have come away to Craven Cottage, and they're going to win by 2-0.
There's so many times as a football manager you want a goal. You're thinking about what you can do to affect the game to get a goal. You leave the centre half. Let's get the centre half up the top of the pitch. Fulham do that. They leave holes at the back, and Man United exploit it. And it was a great goal. Ahmed was persistent in the corner. He kept it. They had a couple of little 1-2s, and then when it came out to him, he just buried it in the right-hand corner. Runs to the Man United fans. Fantastic night for them.
I tell you what, there are Fulham fans leaving, Alan, but maybe VAR is checking it. Is Ahmad in an offside position potentially here?
I don't think it's going to matter that much, but yeah, it looks like it could get chalked off. How much of his arm needs to keep him onside?
Manchester United think they've made it 2-0, but VAR is checking. Maybe it'll remain 1-0, and then there'd be about a minute and a half for Fulham to try and get an equaliser. It is unlikely, you're right, but it is offside. No goal. 1-0 to Manchester United, not 2, and Ahmad denied another goal. So Ahmad offside. I don't think, has that reached the crowd? Well, it's certainly still being checked as far as the screens are concerned. We've seen the lines drawn and that it's offside, so no goal, and Ahmad not on the score sheet tonight. So it's just 1-0.
And this will be a launch.
Oh yes, it will, from goalkeeper Leno. I reckon there's about 90 seconds.
From the NFL tonight, it's a Hail Mary.
Long from Leno, headed away. I think there's probably 90 seconds or so to go. Manchester United clear upfield again anyway. Bruno Fernandes up the left-hand side. He's taking on Castagna. We're in the 97th minute of the game. Bruno Fernandes holds the play up sensibly. Steers it square and infield to Ahmad. Midway inside the Fulham half. Wide left is Mainoo. Back to Dalot. Now Ahmad again, scampering away from Kearney. Lovely quick feet to find Mainoo, shuffling down the left-hand side. It's 1-0 to Manchester United. Little 1-2 between Mainoo and Dalot. Mainoo down by the dead ball line, and the flag is up. Well, there's certainly barely any time for Fulham to get it forward here. Maybe 20 seconds, if that. We've played 97 minutes of football on TalkSport. Marco Silva watches on from the edge of the technical area. Ruben Amorim close to a much-needed victory. 1-0 Manchester United. Fulham fans urging their team to get it forward. Out on the left is Calvin Bassey, midway into the Manchester United half, but United have got everybody back behind the ball. There are only seconds to go. Added time on added time. Floated in by Bassey. That's overhit. That'll go down and behind for a goal kick, and Manchester United are just about there.
They're there.
They are there, maybe.
I think they're there. You know, that's the last person you want, a centre-half in the left wing position, to start putting crosses in from 40 yards deep. And it just floated away and out. And this is Man United's night. And to be honest, second half, I thought they deserved it. You know, they kind of got the grips with Fulham. Whatever Amorim said at half-time, he solved the problem down the left. Nothing come down the left, really, second half. And they grew into the game, and they've got the breaks, and they've got the goal.
Long goes Onana. That's the full-time whistle. The Manchester United fans have been chanting Ruben Amorim's name. He celebrates his 40th birthday tomorrow, and that is indeed the perfect early birthday present for Ruben Amorim. A victory away from home in the Premier League for Manchester United, a rare clean sheet as well, at a ground that Manchester United have had great joy at over recent seasons, but is also one of the tougher places to go in the Premier League these days. Fulham were never really at it going forward, certainly not in the second half. They rarely threatened. It was a game of very few chances, and in fact Manchester United's only effort on target, Lisandro Martinez, after 78 minutes, it took a deflection on its way, looping over the goalkeeper and into the top corner. That ultimately is enough to give Manchester United the victory, and maybe Marco Silva will look at it as a missed opportunity for Fulham. Ruben Amorim heads towards the tunnel away to the left-hand side. His outward body language doesn't necessarily betray his emotions, but it is a significant victory for Manchester United away from home, and they managed to do it by keeping a clean sheet as well. The Ahmad goal in stoppage time ruled out after a VAR check, but no matter, they've struck late at CRAVEN Cottage once again.